طيب, Bismillah. If there are any questions, we'll try to take them now. And before we get into the questions, if there are any, Jazakumullah khairan, all of our sponsors, all of the brothers and sisters who donate and support the cause, may Allah bless you, and may Allah accept it from you. And of course, the donations and the support is always needed by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which allows us to do these classes, these lectures, Jumu'ahs, streaming them free of charge. For those who wish to support or donate, you can find out through all of our websites, our social media pages, HadithDiscipleshop.com, the official Hadith Disciple page on Facebook, Instagram, HadithDisciple.com as well. Wallahu ta'ala alam. All right, so the first question is coming from MG, Atlanta, Georgia. If someone oversleeps and wakes up 3 minutes before Fajr goes out, what should be done? It's simple, inshallah. As soon as you remember, you offer prayer. Whether the sun is rising or not, you pray as soon as you have the ability to pray. That's the best thing to do. Wallahu ta'ala, even if it's a time in which it's prohibited to pray. Wallahu alam. AS from London, UK. Is compensation halal like getting money from a car accident? There's nothing wrong with that, inshallah ta'ala. You're being compensated. Okay? Everything, we have to understand that everything in the financial system in the modern world today, east, west, north, south, isn't haram. And that's a misconception that many people have with regards to living in America or Canada or a Western, secular, liberal, progressive, whatever type of country or legal system, is that every rule isn't against the Sharia. And just because a country has rules or practices that are in accordance with the Sharia, it does not make it an Islamic Sharia country. That's a misconception. Oh, they have the adhan here. Doesn't mean it's a Sharia country. Oh, they close down the mosques. Doesn't mean it's a Sharia compliant country. All right, you understand? So therefore, you being compensated, different issues of insurance, different issues of a lawsuit or this or that, etc., welfare, so on and so forth. Every rule isn't against the deen. If there's a system that's set up to help someone out who's in need because of an accident, etc., as long as it isn't something which is prohibited in the deen, it's lawful. And all worldly dealings are lawful until they're proven unlawful. Specifically, Wallahu ta'ala alam. The question is coming from YH Chicago. Saddam Sheikh, what's the permissibility of investing in crypto and trading it at a higher price? It is the same as investing in gold and silver and selling it when the market prices go higher. As we've explained before, cryptocurrency has its ups and its downs. There's lawful aspects to crypto, and there are unlawful aspects like anything else, like dollar bills, like pounds, like euros, like gold and silver. That's first and foremost. As far as selling something at a higher price, then the general rule is that a Muslim is allowed to make as much profit as he or she wants, as long as it isn't something which is an absolute necessity for the people, in which you raise the prices or you have a monopoly over bread and water, things that people need, basics. Wallahu ta'ala alam. Question is coming from Anwar Ali from London. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Why are we obligated to pray so regularly? The answer to the question is in the question. We're obligated because that's what Allah legislated. That's what Allah sent down. All right? As far as a specific reason, wisdom, you need to be connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just like you need to eat. You need to sleep. You need to rest. Your body needs rest. Your body needs nourishment, and your soul needs rest and nourishment. You need a break from the hayat dunya. AA from the Bronx. Is it a red flag if a sister posts pics of herself on social media with makeup? It depends on your practice of Islam. How do you dress? What's your practice? What's your level of knowledge? What's your level of understanding? Wallahu alam. AM from Schenectady, New York. What are the qualifications of a wali? Well, the wali should be Muslim. He should be someone who has some type of piety and some type of righteousness. And he should have the ability to make the basic discernment between who's good and who isn't good for the woman he's in charge of. Wallahu a'lam, whether that person is from your family or not. from the masjid community or not? Wallahu ta'ala alam. Tia from London, UK. Is the person who was born mad tested on Yawm al-Qiyamah? If so, will giving sadaqah on his behalf benefit him? If a person has lost his mind or has never had his mind, the pen is lifted from them. They aren't responsible. As far as giving sadaqah on their behalf, then perhaps that will help them. Wallahu alam. Being from Columbus, Ohio, I'm struggling with destiny versus free will. Please explain. It's very simple. You have a brain, you have a heart, eyes, ears, mouth, a tongue. You have the ability to think and to feel, to want, to like, to dislike, to hate, to love. But you won't do anything unless Allah has already written it for you. And you won't know that until you make an attempt. Wallahu alam. M.A. Bronx, New York. If had one option to choose before you die, which one would you rather? Do hajj or Ramadan? If it was one of the two, I don't know. Maybe hajj. A.S. London, UK. Assalamu alaikum, brother. My mother is argumentative and controlling, and we argue a lot. What's the best advice you can give on how to deal with this? Try your best to be the best daughter that you can. Make dua for her. Be kind to her. Be respectful. And avoid arguing with her. And if you want to get your point across, maybe you have to show her. Maybe you have to prove it to her. Maybe someone older has to tell her, like your uncle or your aunt, etc. Wallahu alam. T.A. from London, UK. Assalamu alaikum, Mufti. Who has a higher rank between Khadija and Fatima radiallahu anha? May Allah be pleased with all of the Sahaba of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all of our mothers, and all of Ahlul Bayt. Ameen. What's important is the scholars of Islam differ on who's better with regards to the Prophet's wives, Khadija or Aisha. And there are narrations with regards to Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha being the best women of paradise. So they all have their status, and it seems as if the comparison and the contrast is separate. Wallahu ta'ala alam. AA from the Bronx. Is it moving forward? Moving forward. AM Schenectady, New York. We did that one already. TF, Columbus, Bronx, AS, London. RJ from Boston, Massachusetts. Does a Muslim have to live by and obey their state laws? Can I conceal carry without permit even though I'm not harming anyone? If the rule does not go against the Sharia, it does not go against Islam, it does not harm your practice of Islam, then listen, follow the rules. If it goes against the Sharia, that's a different story. As far as the specifics of carrying a handgun, with or without a license, with or without a permit, carrying, conceal, etc., then of course I'm on a live stream. I'm not going to sit here and say on a live stream, carry a gun. That's illegal. What's important is defend yourself, protect yourself the best way you know how. And if you feel like that's the way that you can defend and protect yourself from what's going on and happening, then that's your decision, that's your discretion. Wallahu alam. Ian from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Could you please advise on how best to respond to a non-Muslim who says they like you, same gender? Allahu alam. What's important is tell them to have a nice day. Peace. And that's it. Leave them be. Wallahu alam. AS, London, UK. Ustad, if my mom asked me to do something and I'm extremely fatigued, how can I explain that it would be too difficult? Do it. Get up. Do it. If you can do it, do it. No matter how tired you are. Obey your mother. As long as it isn't haram. And if you can't do it, then that's a different story. NA from Orange County, California. Is there an Islamic speaker I like to listen to, but they celebrate the Mawlid? How would you advise? What's important is try your best to find Islamic speakers that are upon the clear way, insha'Allah ta'ala. The Mawlid, of course, is clearly a problem. It's an innovation. We love the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam more than our own selves. We say sallallahu alayhi wasallam day and night. We follow his way. But it doesn't mean we follow his birthday. What's important is there are scholars who say that the Mawlid is okay. It's a difference of opinion among the people of knowledge with regards to that. Can you celebrate the Prophet's birthday? So just because he follows the prophets, or he celebrates his birthday, it doesn't mean that everything he says and does is bad and wrong. And it doesn't mean that you can't learn or you can't benefit from him. And it doesn't mean that he won't help you out as a regular 9 to 5 Muslim. What's important is try your best to be selective as you possibly can about those whom you take knowledge from. Wallahu ta'ala alam. But at the end of the day, you have to listen to and follow the one that makes you feel like a better Muslim. The one that makes you feel closer to Allah. The one that you feel like you're benefiting from. Because there are 1,000 YouTubers out there, and all of them say the same thing. They all say Quran and Sunnah. Many of them say Quran and Sunnah the way of the Salaf. 50 people right now. They all say the same thing. Quran, knowledge, I graduated from here, I've studied here, I'm qualified for this. All of them. And this one says this about that one. No, he did this and this. So you, at the end of the day, a big part of it is just sincerity. Wallahu alam. F asked from London, UK, if a woman has never missed up fast from previous Ramadans due to menses because of laziness, however, understands the impacts of this, is it forgiven or charity required? We've explained that in classes before. What's important is that there are different ways of understanding what you have to do. Do you have to make up the days first and foremost? Or do you have to feed? What's important is if you can make the days, you make up the days. And if you can give sadaqah as well, then of course, cover yourself. Wallahu alam, UK, Youngstown, Ohio. Assalamu alaikum, Mufti. Did you have any written works towards the Hadith disciples and seeking knowledge? Or could you direct us to something similar and benefit? Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'll say yes and no answer. The Way of the Disciple, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, will be available very soon online on Amazon, hopefully Kindle as well. And the physical copy, in most cases, it'll be available as well. Obviously, the world is changing. Physical books, selling them physically is a little different now. But the book will be available. And that book is for both genders, male and female. As far as something specific for the Hadith disciples, the female disciples, then just stay tuned, inshallah ta'ala, with regards to that announcement, bi'idhnillah. Assalamu alaikum, Mufti. Me and my husband differ on raising children. For example, he doesn't believe in medicines or vaccines or children. You got to put your initials, your name, your city. Jazakallah khairan. OM Columbus, Ohio. Can I been on my 5-month baby to hajj or umrah, and what is things required for the baby to go? Well, that depends on the actual hajj and the rules of the people who administrate the hajj and umrah there. Now, as far as is it legal, is it lawful in Islam, then there's no prohibition on that. But that depends, the people, the vaccines, the illnesses, this, that, there are many factors. Wallahu alam. AY, Chicago, Illinois. Is it simple to delay fajr until just before sunrise because you slept late? Stay away from that. You make the fajr way before the sun is rising. Wallahu alam. Jazakallah khair for the compliment on the cup, Abu Rumaysa. Barakallahu fikum. Saucer, and the cup. Jazakallah khair. Inshallah, guys, look out for our launch on mufti.com and Mufti on Instagram as well. And all of the disciples, you'll have the availability of buying, inshallah, high quality, fine, loose leaf tea, homemade recipes, inshallah ta'ala, different teas that we enjoy, that we like, teas that we suggest for beginners or people that are intermediate or maybe even experts. Bidnillahi ta'ala, Mufti will be coming very soon, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khairan. FK from London, UK. Who is the wali of a Christian or Jewish woman that you want to marry? Most of the scholars of Islam, if not all of them, they say that the wali has to be from her deen. Her father, someone from her religion. Now, obviously, that's problematic with regards to a woman who accepts Islam and her parents don't want her to be Muslim. Her parents don't want her to get married, let alone get married to a Muslim man. All right? So that needs specific attention. Assalamu alaikum, dear Sheikh, is the different opinions when it comes to what is the aura of a man? Peace from Germany. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan akhi, inshallah. Peace to you too, and peace to all the disciples in Germany as well, wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you may be. May Allah bless each and every one of you. Please put your initials, first and last, or your first and last name, your city and your state, whether you're in Berlin or Munich, wherever you may be, Dusseldorf or Cologne, inshallah, and we'll be happy to answer your question. Jazakumullah khairan. All right, guys, we're going to stop here. We'll give the brother from Germany a little bit of time. If not, we'll stop here. Barakallahu fikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.